Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We have a super exciting upgrade in store for today. We're going to swap out our factory head unit for a touchscreen display that has wireless Apple CarPlay. So I'm going to take you through all the steps and I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Just as easy as that. So let's get started with this install, guys. Well, we're going to start by opening the box, just see what all they sent us. I'm pretty excited about this radio because, again, it's a touchscreen display. It offers wireless Apple CarPlay, and they also sent the module for you to be able to retain your steering wheel controls. All the other ones I've looked at on the market, I looked at Alpine, Pioneer, some different head units. All the ones I looked at, they wanted another $100 for the module to retain your steering wheel controls for the 2011 Jeep or the Jeep JK platform. This particular radio was $170. I got it on a Black Friday sale for, I believe, 120 bucks. I paid just as much for the radio with the adapter module to retain my steering wheel controls as you would just pay anywhere else just to retain your steering wheel controls. Also, a lot of the other ones I found did not have wireless CarPlay. If you wanted to get into wireless CarPlay, those head units didn't start offering that until about the $500–600 mark. So this is a very budget-friendly way to get a touchscreen display in your Jeep with wireless CarPlay and retain your steering wheel controls. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this box and see what they sent us. This here is a reverse camera. So this unit also came with a reverse camera. Got a microphone for our hands-free calling. Let's just take the rest of this out. I don't want to scratch the display. Of course, we got our display unit there. Some instructions. We got our main wiring harness. We will not have to splice any wires. This will plug directly in. They send a couple additional USB ports should we choose to use one of those. Our antenna extension. All of our outputs for if you're running a sub or anything like that. And this is the module where we will retain our steering wheel controls. So let me take the rest of this apart. I'll show you how the wiring harnesses are going to plug into the back of the unit, and then we'll get up front, we'll tear into the dash, and we'll get this replaced. So to go over the wiring here, this main harness, this is going to plug in to the one that's behind your factory radio. The power to the head unit is there, and then from this harness splits off this smaller connector that's going to plug into the steering wheel controller, and then from the steering wheel controller it's going to run to the back of the head unit. There's 4 spots here you can plug into, so the one on the far left is going to be for that. The far right is your reverse camera input. We're not going to install that in this video, but I'm going to throw it in there just so I don't lose it. And then this bigger pinned connector over here, this is your microphone out for your hands-free calling microphone. The rest of this is your audio for like subwoofer, all that stuff. I don't currently have one of those in my vehicle, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in the radio so I don't lose it. You got one port right here that screws on, and that is for this GPS signal. So that'll go there, then our antenna extension will go there. So now that our new radio is all wired up, I'll show you how to pull the factory one out, and we'll put this one in. Alright, so you don't need much for tools for this job. I got a plastic pry tool here, just so I don't scratch my trim up or minimize the scratches. And then a 7mm socket. I have a shallow socket on a 3-inch extension, 1/4-inch drive ratchet. So whatever you have that's a 7mm, could be a nut driver even, you'll be able to do this pretty simply. So I'm going to start by removing this window switch in the center here. We'll just get in behind it, pry it free. Then this does have a locking tab on it. I'll show you that locking tab momentarily. So as you can see on here, there's a red tab. You're just going to push that to the side. It'll unlock that connector, then depress on the release. Next thing, we're going to tilt our steering wheel all the way down. And when you do that, you can get your finger in here behind this trim and pull that. It's just some friction clips. Then this will rotate down and pull out. Our next step is going to be removing the fastener. So there's a fastener here, fastener up in your cubby, one on either side of the steering wheel, and then this whole dash trim will remove. So I'm going to start removing these fasteners. Okay, now that those 4 fasteners are out, we're just going to grab this lip back in behind here, pull out. All right, main dash piece is out. Next thing to do is remove the 4 screws retaining this stock head unit. Now with all those fasteners out, should be able to just pull this straight towards us. We'll disconnect our antennas and our factory harness. Okay, just like that, we are now ready to start installing our new radio. I will take just a minute and show you this here. Like I said, this is our factory harness. This smaller gauge wire with this off-colored connector, this is your Sirius XM antenna. The white connector, that's this thicker antenna wire. This is your stock antenna. So this is the one for the radio that we're going to be plugging into. Our harness that we already hooked up will plug into this, and then we'll install the new radio. Okay, so now that we've got our radio prepped, I threw one of the USBs in here. I just ran it over to the passenger glove compartment so that a passenger can charge a device. We're gonna put our radio extension into the white antenna. Okay, there's our antenna extension. Got our main power wire. We're gonna feed our GPS cable back in through here. If you reach up by your window, there's a rubber seal, and you probably can't see my finger, but I can touch fingers right now. So we're gonna push that back in through here. Then we'll bundle all the access back up in here so it's nice and neat. There's a little rectangle up here on the dash, right here in the center. That's where I'm going to peel this and stick this to. I'll just push it down and hold it. Now that that's done, I'm going to coil all this wire back up. Making sure to leave us enough to screw this into the head unit. That should be enough there. I'll re-secure all this excessive wire with this tie. And we'll just set it down just like that. Next thing to install is going to be our microphone for our hands-free calling. So I'll get some of that unspooled, and I'm going to feed it through this part here in the dash, and out right by your steering wheel. If you can see my finger here where we removed the screw to the right of the steering wheel to remove the dash, there's an opening there, and it comes right into here. So that'll be perfect for what we need. Okay, got that microphone out here now. Okay, all that's left to do is start plugging these in to our head unit and get our head unit installed. Our antenna here, I'll plug into where the antenna goes. Make sure our GPS signal we get screwed in. Okay. Then our main harness. The other thing we need to get installed is our microphone. The microphone's going to plug in to this black one here. It says mic on it. It's the connector I showed you earlier that has all the sub outputs. Okay, that now should be all of our wiring except for the reverse camera, and again, I'm not putting that in today. I'm just getting all these wires a bit tidied up as I'm feeding it in. There's going to be a lot of room in here. It'll go back in the same place as our stock head unit. I'm going to get a screw started up here to hold this in place so it doesn't fall. Before we get too much further with this install and putting everything back together, I'm going to put power to this, ensure that it comes on, make sure everything's functional. It does come on. We have sound through the speakers. My steering wheel controls are also functional, so everything's working now. We'll finish getting everything buttoned back up, then we'll connect it to our Bluetooth and we'll try out the Apple CarPlay. Now that the radio's in, we're just going to finish putting the dash back together. And it's all the reverse of the way we removed it. All right, now that our dash is snapped back in, all our other pieces are in. Last thing to do is to put our window switch control in, and then push our locking red tab back down. And just simply push our window switch into position. Alright guys, I've been running this radio for several days and I love it. It's an awesome upgrade for less than 200 bucks to get a touchscreen head unit in your Jeep with wireless CarPlay. So I'm going to turn it on, show you a couple of the kind of neat little features. So I don't know if you can see that little car there. When I turn my headlights on, the headlights come on, turn the headlights off, they go off. This little vehicle shows I have a door open, which I did not have in the factory unit. When I close my door, it goes away. When I open my door, it comes back. So this is automatically paired to my phone too. It takes about 15 to 20 seconds, and then you'll see this screen and you'll go right into your CarPlay home. Screen is responsive. All the CarPlay items work like you would expect. So what more can you really ask for under 200 bucks, guys? So if you like this video, please like, consider subscribing to my channel, and ring the notification bell if you want to get notified when I post a new video. So thanks for watching, guys.